Next, I headed into the Sinkyone Wilderness to the California Lost Coast. A visit there isn't easy or quick, and only primitive tent campers can come. The Sinkyone Wilderness State Park has no running water, and your trash must be carried out. The park is 7,300 acres of forested and coastal wilderness. The Needle Rock Campground has 13 hike-in campsites. It's located along the Lost Coast Trail. Early one morning, I headed north on the trail. The sun had yet to rise above the mountains. It looked like it was going to be a clear day. The sea stack below is called Needle Rock, the area's namesake. It was becoming an overwhelmingly beautiful day as I strolled along Land's Edge. I passed wildflowers, wildlife, and an occasional campsite. I have a word for places like this: paradise. Eventually, the trail caved to a forested cliffside where hiking became more difficult. I came around a bend and spotted 2 female elk ahead of me. They were grazing on the edge of a cliff where the trail bent to the right. Elk number 1 was none too pleased to see me, and neither was elk number 2. These were big animals, more than twice my size, and their looks were meant to intimidate. I held my ground. After about an hour, they just laid down and went back to grazing. Now there were 3 cows, and I knew there had to be a bull close by. Bull elk are aggressive and dangerous. Weighing over 1,000 pounds, they keep a tight watch over their harem. A bull elk will charge other bulls and people if they sense their harem is threatened. I slowly moved forward enough to see around the bend where another cow grazed. To her left, a large rack was visible down the cliffside. There was the bull. I had closed within 20 feet of his cows, and the bull hadn't seen me yet. Then soon he did. Excuse me for being a little nervous, but he was much more intimidating. I couldn't show fear and engaged him in a stare down. I stayed still, and eventually he too went back to grazing. I was close enough to check out his dental work. There was only one way to traverse the cliffside, and it was blocked by elk who didn't want me going farther, but didn't mind me hanging around after all. I felt like an elk man. I had stood there for so long, my low back was killing me. After getting plenty of footage, I hiked back to camp. The next day I headed to Bear Harbor, about 2 miles south of my campsite. This was once a major shipping point for the area. In 1899, a Pacific storm destroyed Bear Harbor Wharf. Now it's a rugged wilderness beach where one can enjoy great solitude. Sinkyone Wilderness State Park was wilderness in every sense. It's named after the Sinkyone Indians that inhabited and still inhabit the Lost Coast area. The Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean in the world. It covers 1/3 of the Earth's surface. At 64 million square miles, it's about 15 times the size of the United States. The never-ending struggle between land and sea produces an awesome combination of beaches, rocky shores, and sea stacks. Pacific weather produces many, many ocean moods. Camping along the coast puts you in the ocean's rhythm. You feel the push and pull of the tides, weather is magnified, and being on the edge of the continent is powerful. Clear evenings, sunsets wash across your soul, leaving images etched there forever. Experiencing the sun setting in the Pacific Ocean is truly a moment of special tranquility, and it makes me a happy camper.